Hi, I'm Holly, and with my sister Heather, you're listening to Haunted Family Podcast, a weekly podcast about the paranormal, unsolved mysteries, and even true crime. Heather's fallen asleep again.
I have not.
So, we just recorded a couple days ago, so I don't really have anything new to add. I'm sure I'll have some side stories pop up maybe later on in the episode, but as of right now, I don't have anything. I can just jump right in.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally, we recorded like 2 days ago.
Yeah. It was the fastest editing turnaround ever.
We had to get this episode out. We had to get this one recorded tonight because I'll be gone starting tomorrow.
Right. Well, I have been so excited to do this topic because I remember sitting in a hotel room with the person who is currently my boss. At the time, we were just co-workers. And we were watching this on HLN.
Yeah. Okay, we've mentioned on the show that our grandma was completely obsessed with the OJ trial. But one of our aunts was completely obsessed with this trial. Like, completely. Did not miss a day of the trial.
Yeah, sadly, work kept me from being glued to it. But I was still very interested in it. Mainly because of the fact that we have something in common. Well, actually, we had 2 things in common.
You're both crazy?
3 things in common. So, I, too, dabbled in photography. Never made it a job, but, like just today, I took cap and gown pictures of Abby. Photography is just something that I love, and I do it for myself, and, obviously for my children. But no, so me and the killer have in common that we both dated Mormons. She just happened to kill hers, and I did not.
Are you sure you didn't?
I'm positive. He's actually, both of them are still very much alive.
Okay.
Because I guess you can count the ex-husband.
But he didn't become Mormon until after you all got divorced.
Right, so I don't know that you could count him, but he's alive. I don't know that this gives me any insight that other people don't have, but it was just worth throwing out.
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This girl's crazy.
Okay, you know what? She is crazy, and I'm not going...
And she is a compulsive liar.
That is true. But I do not think that he was completely innocent either. Okay. We should probably stop and tell people what we're talking about today, in case they did not read the title of our episode.
They might not have.
They might not have.
We're talking about...
Jodi Arias.
Yes. I think she actually might have had help killing Travis Alexander.
I don't know.
He's a pretty big guy.
He is, but okay, yes, he is a pretty big guy, and she was small, but she was also full of rage, which is obvious when you look at the overkill on killing him. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, so, there's no excuse to kill somebody to that degree.
Right. Okay, so let's start with the couple and the timeline of their relationship. So they met September 26th at... Okay, actually, hold on. I want to back up just a little bit. And I want to say that Jodi had pretty shitty upbringing. Her parents turned her into the police when she was 8 for growing pot. Now, I'm not saying that her parents should not have turned her into the police, but I'm saying, what kind of parenting does she have if they don't know what she's into? So, their relationship is shit. She gets to high school and decides that she's moving out, and she moves in with an older man. And so she quit school, she's living with him, she's waitressing, And finally, it just kind of hit her like, what am I doing? And she learns about a multi-level marketing, I hate to say scheme, but program called Prepaid Legal. And she takes off and to California so that she could get started in this, because she's done with, well, actually I think it's Palm Springs, but anyway, she's done with living with her parents. So while she's working for Prepaid Legal, she is at a conference in Las Vegas, and she hears Travis Alexander speak, because he's a motivational speaker for the company and he's also a salesman. And she is crazy about him. Literally. Thinks that, he's it. So much so that he tells her that he is Mormon, and that if they're going to be serious at all, she also has to be Mormon. So she gets baptized. Like, they meet in September. She is baptized in November. I'm just going to throw this little bit that I know out. From what I have experienced with Mormon faith, they are all about recruiting you and baptizing you quick. So
yes.
So that doesn't that timeline being quick does not really mean anything to me, because
I think it's just the Mormon way. At least all the Mormons that I've had experience with, they want to get you in the door quick.
Right. So she was baptized. Then they started dating in early February. And they have Mormons are like most religious groups, only they take the vow of chastity very, very serious. So he told her that they couldn't have sex because he has to save himself for marriage. But
I'm sure that it's one of those things that some Mormons take more serious than others.
Right. Well,
just like you have in every faith, you have some that take the religious principles more serious than most.
Right. Well, according to him, oral sex was fine and anal sex was fine. But just, the taboo vagina.
I actually know some Mennonites that's their belief is that anal sex is not actually sex.
What?
It doesn't make sense to me, but if it works for them, who am I to raid on their parade?
I guess. They have a really sexually charged relationship. So he goes from I'm saving myself to, they're sending naked pictures of each other. They're texting constantly. They sent back and forth 82,000 emails.
Let's just stop for a second and say that again. 82,000 emails. Holy smokes.
Yeah. One of my favorite texts between them was he told her that he wanted to handcuff her to a tree and have anal sex with her while she's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically, she is thinking, I have lucked out. I've got this super hot guy. He's successful. We're having great sex. I've, switched religions for him. It's all looking up for me. And then he breaks up with her in June. of 2007. But they keep having sex. So he wanted that aspect. He just didn't want crazy Jodi. In December of 2007, he tells her that he is dating somebody else, Lisa Andrews. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name. I think it's like Daydone or something. Lisa, if you're listening, sorry. You should probably have stuck to Andrews.
Or not been associated with anybody who would end up on our podcast.
Right, that is correct.
You really can't control that.
Yeah. So, Jodi was jealous, like super jealous, and she slashed Travis's tires. She harassed Lisa.
Because she's crazy.
Yes. I mean, and here, Lisa is like 18 years old.
And, like, I've been
Which
told...
I think 18 and a 30-year... or she's 18, he's 30. That's a... no. If Abby told me that she was dating somebody that was 29, 30 years old, I'd be like, you're not. I don't care if you are 18. That's just wrong.
That's also pretty... That's not uncommon with some religious groups.
But these girls are not... they're not really adults yet.
I know. But we also say that I have been told by several male friends that the first rule of being a dude is don't stick your dick in crazy. So, Travis Alexander, that was his first mistake.
Stop. Have you seen the hot, crazy Matrix?
No.
I will try to post a link to it on... I'll try to post a link to it in our show notes. Guys, just in case I forget, which is possible.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Google Hot Crazy Matrix. Actually, I think it's on YouTube. Search on YouTube Hot Crazy Matrix. And it is hysterical. Hot Crazy Matrix. It's hysterical. It's this guy who is talking about, like, every girl is at least a little crazy, and depending on how hot she is, you can put up with a little bit more crazy. Well, Jodi was really pretty, so I guess he thought that he could handle.
I think she was prettier as a brunette than she was as a blonde.
I think so too. But anyway,
but you can't say that for everybody.
No,
blonde is a good look for the majority of people. I'm saying that as a brunette.
I can't do blonde. I make a much better redhead than I do anything else. Okay, so...
I make a much better brunette because I'm too lazy to dye my hair.
On January the 8th... Now, keep in mind, he's dating Lisa at this point. January 8th, there is a explicit text sent from Jodi to Travis that said, I fell asleep, but... to answer your question, yes, I want to grind you, and I want to be loud, and I want to give you a nice warm mouth hug too. On January the 8th,
mouth hug?
I'm assuming oral sex.
Who says that?
Crazy people.
Sorry.
Okay, on January the 18th, she texts that she's so wet to him. Then on March 2008, they go on a trip together. Now, they're not together. He supposedly has a girlfriend. In April, she leaves Arizona and moves back to California. And Travis posts on his blog about how this year is going to be the best year ever, and he's going to learn more and travel more and serve more and give more and be more than all the years combined in his life. April 20th, he sent Jodi a message that said, I'm at a nightclub right now, and it helped me to come to the conclusion that you are one of the prettiest girls on the planet. the next day, he sends another text to her that says, "Send me a naughty picture." On May 10th, Jodi posts on her blog that she cannot ignore that there is an ever-present yearning and desire that pulses within her, and it throbs for gratification and fulfillment. Travis sends her a text that same day that says, "Why don't you have him come and fuck you in the woods? I can only imagine you are so worried about me reading. You are paranoid because you have no respect for people's privacy, and you dare insult me of all people. Someone you should, through your actions, you hate more than love. By denying me a human right of privacy countless times, you have a lot of freaking nerve. We are all not alike. We are all not like you in that respect." So then on May 18th, he posts, "Why I want to marry a gold digger." And it basically is, I did a little soul searching and realized that I was lonely. I realized it was a time to adjust my priorities and date with marriage in mind. This type of dating to me is like a very long job interview and can be exponentially more mentally taxing. Deliberately trying to find out if my date has an axe murderer pinned up inside of her. Wow, little did he know.
Or maybe he did.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's true.
Maybe there's things that, that he knew or suspected that wasn't released.
Now, see, I'm always threatening to stab Ernie, so I figure if he turned up dead, well, I mean, yes, I would be the first person they looked at, but the fact that I just always tell him I'm going to stab him probably is not very, I should probably stop doing that. First week of first week of June, Travis tells his friends that he suspects that she's hacking into his Facebook account. And that he told her to stay out of his life forever. Well, this is when shit gets real. June 2nd, she picks up a budget rental car. Like, okay, just the level that she went to cover her tracks makes me sad for her. I mean, not really sad for her because, we want to catch killers. But that fact that she started to unravel towards the end. Because she was never sane and competent enough to pull this off in the first place. Well, that's true. But she did attempt. Like, she called in a burglary at her grandparents' house where she was living and said that the only thing that was missing was a .22. Then she rents a car from Budget Rental Car. She gets gas so she doesn't have to stop for gas and be seen on her way to his house. She goes to his house in Arizona. They have sex. They take lots of pictures of themselves. And then there was an outgoing call, and then that was the last time that anybody has ever heard from him. So, I believe the story is that they were having fun, they were hanging out, taking lots of naked pictures of themselves, and he goes to get in the shower and gets a text from Lisa. Jodi flips out and attacks him in the shower. But I'm not really buying that because she knew something had to go down, because why else would you put cans of gas in your car?
Why would you call in a burglary and say that a gun was stolen from your grandparents' home?
Right.
She went there knowing she was going to kill him.
Right.
Her version of the story is that while
Which
they're
version
taking
of her version?
Well, yeah, sorry. One of her versions of the story, she's told multiple versions, was that while they were taking pictures in the shower, she dropped the camera, he got mad at her, and body slammed her. And she got away from him and ran down the hallway to his closet, climbed up the shelves, and grabbed a gun that she knew he kept there and shot him in the head.
Right.
And then proceeded to stab him at multiple places throughout the house.
Right, but then another version was somebody broke into the house and then she got scared.
But, I mean, just that version. There's been reconstructionists try to redo that. And at no time was the female able to outrun the male and make it to the closet and get the gun before getting caught. At no time.
Right. So Jodi leaves
the shelves. Well, and the shelves that was in the closet, if she had tried to climb up them, they would have snapped because they were not meant to hold
a body.
Yeah.
So she leaves him dead. She goes to visit a friend of hers, Ryan Burns, who used to be somebody that she dated. And he also worked at Prepaid Legal Services. She visited him in Utah. Then she calls Travis's phone several times and leaves voicemail messages between the time that she killed him and the time that he was found. So she returns her car on June 7th, and there was no floor mats in there, but they also couldn't determine whether or not they had floor mats when she took the car. But there was a red speck, but that got cleaned. So
they thought it was Kool-Aid.
Right. I mean, she was smart enough to not use her own car and use one that she knew that they were going to immediately clean.
She was also smart enough to have packed jugs of water in the car and a change of clothes. She stopped in the desert and washed herself off and changed clothes, discarding her clothes in the desert, right before a highway safety checkpoint.
Right.
So she wouldn't get caught.
Yeah. So 5 days later, his friends realize that they've not heard from him in a while and go to his house, where they use a spare key to get in. And one, he's in advanced decomposition. And two, there's a massive amount of blood in the master bedroom, all over the floors, the walls, the sink. He was stabbed 27 times. His throat was cut from ear to ear, and then he was shot in the head.
Yeah, this was epic overkill.
Right. I mean, even if the first person they look at is not the significant other or a recent ex-significant other, then like this kind of is just a blaring billboard that, hey, it's a rage killing, because why else would you keep stabbing and then shoot after he's already dead? Okay, but this is where Jodi messed up bad.
Yeah, the medical examiner actually says that he was most likely dead before he was shot in the head.
Right. But she left a latent print in blood near the entrance to the bathroom. She takes the digital camera and throws it in the washing machine, which does absolutely nothing. They're able to recover all the pictures. Why did she not take the camera with her and burn the SD card and crush the camera?
Leave it in the desert.
So, of course, his friends immediately said, okay, Jodi needs to be questioned. June 13th, she posts a photo gallery on MySpace titled In Loving Memory of Travis. She goes a couple days later to the police headquarters and is fingerprinted and is tested for DNA. So at this time, they've recovered the camera, they've got the pictures, and they see her naked. They see, you know, they see everything.
And they see pictures of him.
Yes, like
stabbed.
Right, yeah, like there's pictures right before he is stabbed. Yeah, it's bad. I do not suggest you Google crime scene photos. For one reason, just the state of decomposition that his body is in is bad.
I will say that I know there's a lot of speculation about one of the first pictures where it's just his face. But whether or not he looks terrified, whether he does, whether he doesn't, I think he looks scared in that picture.
I mean, I don't know. I think that maybe he's not scared.
I think that he knows that there's something going on. That she maybe is about to flip crazy on him.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's arrested July 15th and is taken to Arizona. This is where she immediately becomes super popular and everybody wants to interview her. And she's on 48 Hours and Inside Edition and I don't know.
And this is another case that was really made famous by Nancy Grace.
Yeah.
Top mom extraordinaire.
Right. See, this is what... Okay, these are some things that I think is bad. Did the jury really need to see their sex tape and all those pictures? I would say not. And she really should not have agreed to testify for herself.
No.
Because those 18 days did not do her any good. I
listened to part of it today.
She did not come across as sane. She did not come across as honest at all. But there's a part of me that feels sorry for her. I mean, yes, she's crazy. No, he did not deserve to die. But she was desperate. She just wanted somebody to love her. She just wanted to be accepted. And she wanted that person to be him. And when he did not, which is not a reason to kill somebody, mind you.
She needed counseling.
She did.
Because you are never going to find someone who is going to love and accept you unless you love and accept yourself.
Right. When he left her, she should have sought counseling. Not sought tracking him down and killing him. Because if you kill somebody, they're definitely not going to love you.
I mean, I don't feel sorry for her in the least. Because she made her bed and now she has to lay in it.
Okay, yes. And I agree with that. And I don't think that she should have gotten off.
Maybe now that she is in prison, she will, switch and start batting for the other team and find some nice lesbian chick who will, make her go to counseling sessions in prison and love her like she needs to be loved.
Maybe.
Within the confines of prison where, there's guards there to make sure that she doesn't murder anybody else.
Right. But, I do feel bad for her. Not that I think she should ever get off. I don't ever think that she should be out of prison. And I definitely think that she needs to pay for her crime. Because it was obviously wrong. I'm just saying that I feel sorry for her because she just wanted to be loved and accepted and didn't go about it in the right way at all. But he didn't either by continuing to have sex with her after they broke up. He should have made a clean break instead of leading her on. And sending the passive-aggressive blog posts is childish on both of their ends. But just because I feel sorry for her doesn't mean that if I was on the jury, I would have said that she needed to get off. But you know, the jury was completely conflicted in this case. They couldn't decide whether or not she should be executed or whether or not she should get off. Not get off, but have life in prison.
I can honestly say that I could have very easily cast my vote in the jury room for the death penalty. Very easy.
See, I don't know that I could have. But they had...
Because for basically what she did, I mean, she was just as abusive as, anybody else.
Right. See, she kept saying that she was abused by him.
But in reality, it's, well, I don't want this other girl to have you. If I can't have you full time, then nobody can, and I'm going to end you right now. I'm going to exercise the ultimate control over you by taking your life.
I think that they both had together, they had an abusive relationship. Maybe not physical up until the point that she decided to stab him to death. But I would say that they both were passive aggressive and manipulative and mentally abusive to each other. And it did not end well.
But ultimately, the worst mistake she made during her trial was taking the stand for herself.
Oh, yeah.
This girl changed her story pretty much every time they asked her a question. And I have never in my life seen someone fake cry as badly as she does.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
I don't like her. I don't like her as a person.
Well, you don't have to like her as a person.
Well, I don't. And I think that had it not been him, it would have been somebody else at some point in time.
Well, I agree with that.
I think it was just her personality. She was very
needy.
Yes. Needy, emotional, manipulative, controlling. A very compulsive liar. I know a lot of people during the trial wanted to label her a sociopath. I don't believe she was. Yeah,
No, I don't think that she's a sociopath. I think that people are very eager to throw that and psychopath on people all the time. I just think that she had a rough upbringing. Not an excuse for murder, by the way. And she felt like she was finally getting the kind of life that she wanted for herself. And when it started slipping away and she felt like she was being used again, she flipped. But not flipped in a I don't know what I'm doing kind of way. She very much knew what she was doing. It was very much calculated.
not calculated very well because she did make stupid mistakes, like
And
throwing the camera in the washing machine.
leaving fingerprints on things. I mean, her fingerprints at the house could be explained.
But not when it's in blood.
But not when it's in blood. But no, there's a picture of Travis and Jodi together back when she was a blonde. And he's pretty much making the same face that he was in that picture in the shower. So I just think that maybe is just a Travis face. But I'm sure that at that moment he knew that something was going down. Because I don't think he was alive very much longer.
And if you have like a month to kill, by all means, feel free to watch the videos of the trial because you can find them online.
Yeah. Well,
and I love how the whole persona they gave her at the trial too. All of that was lawyer arranged. We're gonna make you look so prim and put together, and well,
they do that for every
naive and unassuming. Yeah, I know, but I love how lawyers stage people. The Jodi you saw in the courtroom, and then you look through her personal pictures. They're not the same person.
No,
it's like she is wearing a persona. I mean, she was wearing the persona that her attorney laid out for her.
Yeah, but I mean that's just what happens in every case is that they're going to tell their clients, listen, you need to not act like this.
Too bad he forgot to tell his client to keep her lies straight.
Well, too bad that he didn't. Well, I was gonna say, too bad he didn't tell his client that she shouldn't kill people. But then I guess if he had done that, he wouldn't have
had a client.
He wouldn't have had a client. I told you not to Google the pictures, but Travis's sister Samantha is a police officer, and she said that his pictures, his crime scene photos, were more gruesome than anything she'd seen in 11 years on the job. I mean, I can imagine that because they're bad, but I would not want to see them. I wouldn't want to see crime scene photos of you, so please don't get yourself killed.
I'll try not to.
I mean, it wasn't even a crime scene, but when I had to ID Dad through pictures, like, I still have nightmares sometimes about that. And he was found, like, within an hour, so it's not like...
But for some reason, our family thinks that he was found days after he died.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. But yeah.
So, but you can actually find photos online of just the blood on the floor and in the shower if you want to look at those photos, and blood smeared on the wall, and you'll probably stumble across a few naked pictures of him too because, well,
that's what
they're out there for the world.
You know, and that's one of the things that makes me feel sad for him. Like, I mean, it makes me feel sad for him that he was butchered in this way and then left for 5 days. What kind of friends do not check on their friends? Like, I just can't imagine. But
I have friends that I don't see every day.
Right, but if you didn't hear from them, wouldn't you be like, hey, sooner than 5 days?
But there are people that are close to me that if they did not see me for 5 days, they would definitely come check on me.
I am one of them.
But
or what about his... Well, no, I guess he was raised by his grandparents, so they probably wouldn't have checked in every day. Who am I kidding? Mom doesn't check in ever. Oh, that's what I was saying, is that the thing that makes me feel awful for him, other than, the fact that he was murdered in such an awful fashion, was that he left Jodi because she was not the image that he wanted for a wife, and he will forever be known by their actions.
Yep.
And not for anything good that he's ever done, not for anything good that he ever did. He will only be known for premarital sex and dating a crazy person.
Premarital, wildly kinky sex.
Yeah, premarital, wildly kinky sex.
I mean, I would assume that not everybody brings ropes into bed. I mean, that's another thing. She remembered to take the rope out of the bed and bring it with her and get rid of it, but she leaves the camera and just puts it through the washing machine.
Yeah.
Why?
I guess she just thought that putting it in the wash would ruin the SD card, but did she not wonder, like, when they found, because somebody's obviously going to find it, did she not think that when somebody found the camera that they're going to, one, think, why is there a camera in the washing machine, and two, not check to see if there's images?
And why didn't she at least try to make it look like a break-in?
Right. Well, because I'd say at that point she was coming down off the high of adrenaline from all the rage, that she probably at that point just stopped thinking, because that's when she started making all of her stupid decisions. So one of the things the prosecutors think that the attack happened in the shower, and I believe that we all believe that too, based on the camera and just the not half pictures, but the pictures where you can, like, see half of images and stuff. That's probably where she stabbed him first. And then he stumbled to the sink and then was trying to escape towards the bedroom. And she just kept stabbing. He was shot probably outside the bathroom in the bedroom, and then she drug him back into the shower. Now, I know this is probably where people would have said, no, there's no way that she could have drug an adult male like that. But I used to work for home health, and I am 4'10". Every patient that I had was bigger than me. And every male, it seemed like, were at least 250, 300 pounds, because they were all bedridden, so there's no burning of calories happening. And I would have to pull them all up in bed, and usually the bed is sitting at an incline. So if me at 4'10" can drag a man up in bed, Jodi Arias can drag one on a flat surface. So they're assuming that the attack, like from the time that the attack started until he finally bled out, was about 2 minutes, which doesn't seem like it's a long time until you actually sit and watch 2 seconds happen.
This was absolutely brutal.
Oh, it was. I mean, she gave no fucks on what she did to him. I mean, like blood sprays on the sink, where it had to have just been gushing out of him.
I mean, the house is covered. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting.
It is. Well, do we have something happier? Like a stupid criminal?
Well, are stupid criminals ever happy?
No, but they are funny.
Okay, let me pull it up. We actually found 2 stupid criminals today. If you want to read stupid criminal number 2, I'll read stupid criminal number 1. Okay, so once again, we have another stupid criminal related to a hospital. Related to a hospital in our area. Paintsville City Police, Paintsville is the town I live in, was called to Palby Hall Regional Medical Center, the only hospital in my town, after a man was allegedly refused treatment and walked out of the hospital, taking a woman's bag of personal belongings with him. In the bag also contained her prescriptions. Around 3:30 a.m., police found the man riding a pink and white bicycle going the wrong way down Main Street. Main Street is a one-way street in Paintsville. Main Street is also the street that the police department and the sheriff's office is on. And if you keep going straight on Main Street, you'll run smack dab into our 911 dispatching center.
Yeah, so not a good place to be.
No, not a good place to be if you have just, stolen stuff from a hospital and are on the run. Police detain him. They smell the strong odor of alcohol on him. And so they start questioning him. And the man just admitted, yeah, I got this bag that doesn't belong to me, and it's got somebody else's prescriptions in it. Oh, and by the way, this bicycle I stole from a little girl. So the man was charged with DUI, theft of a bicycle, possession of a forged instrument, and he was hauled off to our lovely local jail, where I think he still is.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of drunk driving arrests in our area, but I think this is one of the few drunk on a bicycle arrests our local cops have made in a while.
Yeah. Well, so mine is coming to us from California, which it was just serendipitous that I even heard about this stupid criminal, because I have a few friends that I've known like since I was probably 12 that now live in California. One lives in Bakersfield, one lives in LA, and one of them shared this story that was in the LA Times because they just thought that it was hysterical, and you will probably think that it is hysterical too. So a mom, her 4 kids, and her husband were coming home from a day at the water park, and they stop and get tacos from a taco truck. And if you're in California and you want to stop and get tacos from this food truck, it is at 13400 block of Valley Boulevard, unincorporated Bassett. I'm assuming that they have fantastic tacos.
Well, I mean, it stopped a criminal, so I would say yes.
Yeah. So they're sitting in their minivan, eating their tacos. before they go home, and a man comes up to them with a gun, and he's threatening them. And he shows them a badge and tells them that he's an undercover police officer for the sheriff's department. And, of course, they've not done anything wrong. And the mom does not believe this guy. So she offers him a taco and says, here's a taco. I'm going to go to the food truck and get some more napkins. So hold on just a second. So she walks away and she gets to the food truck and she says, call 911. There's somebody that, has a gun. So when the cops pull up, the man tosses the gun inside the family's vehicle, and then he himself tries to get into the vehicle.
That's stupid.
That is stupid. I don't know why he didn't just run, but because you're going to get caught either way, but you're definitely going to get caught if you jump into the vehicle of the people that you just had a gun pulled on. He is currently being held at the sheriff's department with a $201,000 bail. So
that's a lot of money for that.
That is. That'd buy a lot of tacos.
That would. So now I have a goal in life to go there and eat at that taco stand and hopefully not almost get robbed.
Yeah, let's not get robbed because that would suck really bad. So, well, I believe that is all we've got for this week. So, as usual, like us, rate us, review us, share us on Twitter, visit my Etsy shop, Cat Hair Glitter, and sign up for a podcast on Podbean using our affiliate code Haunted Family PB.
Yeah, all that jazz.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.
If you liked this episode, please take a moment to rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also show your love by giving us a shout out on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We are Haunted Family Podcast everywhere. You can also tweet us by going to hauntedfamilypodcast.com/tweet. For merchandise, please go to Holly's Etsy shop, etsy.com/cathairglitter. If you have a stupid criminal, paranormal story, or true crime suggestion, email us at hauntedfamilypodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.